Hello, everybody, and welcome to YuGiOh Stories. Now, previously, we took a look at the World Chalice story, but through the view of Aurum, and today I want to be looking at the World Chalice stories, but we're going to be focusing on Ib and Ningirsu. So I'm going to start off the video just by reading the vanilla text for Ningirsu, or beckoned by the World Chalice. His battle with the monstrosities never seems to end. Even when their forest is invaded by monstrosity insects, he stood his ground and inspired others to defend around him. And crowned by the Royal Chalice, also known as Ib, with her magical staff, she can channel the living hearts of her world to shield her people from the Mech Knights that would have overrun it. So it seems like the Mech Knights are bad, or at least the people in this world think that the Mech Knights are bad. Maybe because they have some association with the monstrosity insects, otherwise known as the crawlers. But personally, I don't think the Mech Knights are bad. I just think that people think they're bad, at least the people in this world. So, first here we have our crew of heroes when they find the first World Legacy World Chalice. Ib is actually the one to find the World Legacy's heart. Along with the World Legacy's heart, she finds Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. You can see this in the World Legacy's heart artwork. And when she finds Lee and the World Chalice, her and her crew are bestowed the World Chalice armor. Here is Ib and Ningirsu with their respective World Chalice armors. So once they got these armors, out of nowhere, like a light beacon shot out from the giant World Chalice, and it attracted all the crawlers. Here in World Legacy Landmark, World Legacy Shadows, and World Legacy Pawns, we can see that. So looking at it through Ib's point of view, what I started noticing is that Lee and the World Chalice might actually be bad. Um, we'll discuss this a little more in the next cards that I'll show you guys. But it didn't make sense to me that when they got bestowed this new armor, out of nowhere, a beacon shined. It was like a trap. It was like a perfectly set trap. So yeah, here also in World Legacy spawns, you can see the Mech Knights all the way in the background. I didn't even notice that till I started making this video. Also, you can see Ib using her staff to make a shield around Ningirsu. So, after they fight all the monstrosities or the crawlers, it seems like the Mech Knights casted a spell and they stole Ib away from Ningirsu and Aurum. Also, notice here how Lee starts to become darker. Some could say that she's being corrupted by like the crawlers around her and whatnot, but I personally always think Lee was evil. That she made the trap for them. She has actually helped the Mech Knights steal Ib, but I digress. So moving on, we see Ningirsu and Aurum finding the second World Legacy Shield, and this is where the Mech Knights live. So inside, we see the Mech Knights taking Ib's staff away from her. But as soon as the Mech Knights notice that Ningirsu and Aurum are outside, they spring outside and begin to fight. As the fight occurs, Ningirsu tells Lee to go search after Ib. As you can see here, Lee is getting even more darker. So Lee eventually does find Ib. Now Lee is fully corrupted, fully evil. Her true face is showing, and she seems to corrupt the World Chalice. After she corrupts the World Chalice, it seems like Ib also gets corrupted, and so she transforms into Nightmare Ibli. So after she transforms to Nightmare Ibli, while the fight is happening, she joins the fight, but she takes no sides. She just attacks everybody, and she breaks all the Mech Knights and turns them into nightmares, and our heroes' armors get like they get destroyed, and they're back to the World Chalice armor. Except for Aurum, where if you saw the last video, he actually gains a Mech Knight armor. But moving on. Here in the artwork, we see Ningirsu fighting the nightmares, while Aurum is running off trying to get Ibli, trying to see what's going on, along with his guard dragon. Once they do get to Ibli, and Aurum makes that jump, I don't know if you guys can see right here how there's like a like a crack. Oram jumps and fails his jump. It's about to die. So Ibli grabs his sword and is ready to take his life. But out of nowhere, the guard dragon awakens Ib back from the Ibli state. You can see this in World Legacies Awakens. And in that short amount of time that Ib is back to her normal self, in her spirit form, or whatever you want to call it, she stabs herself with Orm's sword. She decides it's better to take her own life. In World Legacy Sorrow, we see Ib dying or dead, and Ningirsu and Oram and Guard Dragon all sad. You can also see Ningirsu all beat up from the fights that he just went through. But time passes by, and we don't know what happens to Ib or Ningirsu. But one thing I do want to point out is, oh, sorry about that, was my phone. One thing I want to point out, in World Legacy's memory, we can actually see Ib's staff here. If any of you guys know like what this artwork is supposed to be like referencing, or like why her staff is there, like I know they're creating Mekk-Knight Morningstar, as you can see by a little diagram here and here, but I'm just confused to how they got the staff or why it's even in the picture. But if you guys, any of you guys have explanations, please let me know down in the comments. But moving on, here we see Ningirsu trying to rebuild his sister, or trying to bring her back into a new body. Here's like a little doll that looks like Ib, and I believe here is Ib's actual body. You can also see that he's using similar technology to what these people are using, kind of. And also, you can see on Ningirsu's right hand that he has Oram's other sword. They are inside this like church-looking thing. I forget the name of this card because I have its OCG text picture pulled up. But this is like Orphagel Church or something. But yeah, that's where they're chilling. That's where Ningirsu's trying to bring back Ib, not make a new Ib, trying to bring her back to life. So he ends up completing his experiment, and Ibli does come back. I believe she comes back known as Orphagel Galati or something along those lines. Here you can see her, just like before, she's a Link 2 and 1800 attack, just like Ib. Also, you can see the scythe she's wielding actually has Oram's sword. So that's pretty cool. And moving on, I just want to finish the story with what the last cards that we have so far are the Orphagel cards. Here we also see what's his name, Maximus in the TCG, and I think his name is Oddgearsu, I believe by the translation. We see them fighting. So we don't really know what happened to Ningirsu, why he turned evil. We don't know if it was all the grief from losing his sister. We don't even know why they're fighting. Like, this is all so confusing to me. I'm still trying to connect the dots, but basically, maybe what I believe is that he was mad at Oram for not being able to save his sister, and here he's just taking it out on him. I'm not sure if he wants to kill him. I'm not even sure how this battle ends, because this is like all the other Orphagel cards don't show anything after the battle. But I'm just gonna leave the video off here. So after Ib's death, Oram goes and creates the Paladonians, and we didn't know what happened to Ningirsu, but now we know that he went and created the Orphagels, and also he brought back his sister. But yeah, this was the World Legacy story. I made it towards like only focusing on Ib and Ningirsu because it seems like they went down a dark path, whereas in Oram or Maximus always went down the good path. But if you guys like this type of lore content, if you guys want more stories, I definitely have more stories coming up. And I'm also going to be posting a deck profile soon, so stay tuned for that. But if you guys like this type of content, be sure to leave a like. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you think I missed anything or misinterpreted any of the cards, be sure to leave that down below on the comment section. But yeah, this was the World Chalice story, but we took a look at Iv and Ningirsu specifically. If you guys want to see Orum's side of the story, I have another video. Just check my channel and you'll see it right there. But like I said, if you guys like this content, subscribe, and I'll be sure to keep on posting more videos. All right, that's it, guys. Have a good day, and be sure to subscribe if you like this type of videos.